Have you ever looked back and realized you missed your biggest chance because you simply weren't ready? Most people wait for a sign to start preparing, but the truth is, opportunity is unforgiving to the unprepared. Today, I'm going to show you the bucket method, the exact system a waiter used to land a senior consultant role at a billion-dollar firm without a single connection. Have you ever looked back and realized you missed your biggest chance because you simply weren't ready? Most people wait for a sign to start preparing, but the truth is, opportunity is unforgiving to the unprepared. Today, I'm going to show you the bucket method, the exact system a waiter used to land a senior consultant role at a billion-dollar firm without a single connection. In today's competitive landscape, especially in markets like Canada or the US, we're told that who you know is everything. We feel stuck in temporary jobs waiting for life to finally begin. But what if I told you that your meaningless job is actually a high-stakes training ground? The story of Thomas and CEO Robert Chen proves that luck isn't a bolt of lightning. It's a systematic approach to readiness that anyone can master. The way you handle small, invisible tasks today is the only predictor of how you will handle big opportunities tomorrow. Thomas didn't just serve food. He wore his uniform like armor, polished his shoes, and studied the menu like scripture. He knew every ingredient and every wine pairing, even though his colleagues laughed and said, "It's just a waiter job." Imagine Thomas standing in the kitchen of the Sterling Oak. His coworkers are complaining about customers and doing the bare minimum. They see a name tag. Thomas sees a badge of professional standards. When they asked, "Why do you try so hard?" Thomas's answer was his secret weapon. You never know who's watching. He was practicing excellence in obscurity, building the discipline he would later need to lead major projects. But discipline is only half the battle. If you have the discipline but no product to show, the opportunity will pass you by, which leads us to the phone portfolio strategy. You must be ready to show your value instantly, because opportunity doesn't send a calendar invite. It arrives unannounced. For 8 years, Thomas didn't just wait. He prepared. He kept a business consulting portfolio updated on his phone, containing case study analyses and organizational strategies. He spent his breaks reading business books, while others scrolled through social media. Example: think about Thomas's roommate. Every night, after a double shift, the roommate saw Thomas exhausted yet still studying. He asked, "Why do you keep preparing? Nothing's happening." Thomas's response, "Not yet," is the mantra of the successful. He wasn't waiting for an interview to build a portfolio. He built the portfolio so he could demand the interview. Thomas was ready, but he was still a waiter. How did he cross the bridge to the corporate world? It required a shift in how he viewed luck itself. The CEO's secret notebook claim the lucky are actually just people who have stopped using umbrellas to protect their comfort. When Robert Chen sat at table 12, he wasn't just a hungry customer. He was a man who had carried a dog-eared idea book for 30 years. Inside, he had written a philosophy at age 28. Opportunity is like rain. You can't make it come. But you can make sure you're standing there with a bucket, not an umbrella. The reveal. The twist here is that Robert Chen didn't hire Thomas because he was a great waiter. He hired him because he recognized his own 30-year-old philosophy living in a stranger. Most people use umbrellas, routine excuses, and the desire for predictability to block out anything unexpected. They complain about being unlucky while they actively shield themselves from the rain of opportunity because it looks like extra work or an inconvenient Friday night shift. Once you trade your umbrella for a bucket, you have to know how to recognize the rain when it actually starts falling. Your big break will almost never look like a big break. It will look like an ordinary, perhaps even exhausting task. Thomas's opportunity didn't look like a board meeting. It looked like a tired businessman sitting alone at 8:47 p.m. On a chaotic Friday night when the restaurant was short-staffed, the restaurant was in crisis. 3 waiters were sick. The manager was panicking. To anyone else, table 12 was just another burden in a night of stress. But Thomas recognized the rain. Instead of rushing the customer so he could go home, he treated the conversation about salmon and sea bass as a high-level presentation. He understood that every moment is a secret interview for the next big thing. Recognition is one thing, but execution is another. When Robert Chen asked, "What do you do when you're not serving wine?" Thomas had seconds to prove he was a consultant in a waiter's uniform. The 200 AM standard claim. Real preparation happens when no one is watching, so that execution becomes a formality when everyone is watching. After receiving Chen's business card, Thomas didn't celebrate. He went home and stayed up until 200 AM at his kitchen table, practicing his presentation and researching Titan Consulting's recent projects. Example: when the actual interview happened on Monday, it lasted 2 hours. Chen asked difficult questions because Thomas had been investing knowledge for 8 years. Knowledge his coworkers thought was wasted. The answers came naturally. He wasn't trying to be a consultant. He already was one. The interview was just the world catching up to his reality. Within a year, the man who was told no one important is watching was speaking at major conferences. So how do you start building your bucket today? You can control your readiness even if you can't control the timing of your opportunity. The sources outline a clear path. 1. Master. 1. Dream skill. For 30 minutes a day. 2. Keep your portfolio ready to show at a moment's notice. And 3. Treat every interaction like it's the rain. Imagine where Thomas would be if he had said, "I'll update my portfolio once I get an interview." He would have fumbled when Chen asked him what he did in his spare time. He would have been just another unlucky waiter who served a billionaire and got nothing but a tip. Instead, he was the only one of 6 waiters who was ready when the moment came. The difference between a career that stays stuck and one that skyrockets is simply what you are holding in your hands right now. Luck isn't something that happens to you. It's something you prepare for. Thomas spent 8 years in obscurity to be ready for one Friday night at 8:47 p.m. He proved that if you stand in the rain with a bucket instead of an umbrella, you can turn any temporary job into a billion-dollar career. What is the one skill you're going to master today so you're ready when your rain falls? Let me know in the comments. Be ready before you need to be. Stand in the rain.